on ABC Grandstand, live Queensland Cup Rugby League. Today, the 2010 Grand Final. It's North's Devils and from Cairns, the Northern Pride at the home of Queensland Rugby League, Lang Park. And isn't it wonderful to be back at headquarters, this place where so many fantastic games of rugby league have been played, and when we're in for another beauty, the grand final of the 2010 Queensland Cup. David Wright, just thinking about these two sides, they've worked all year to be here and they've got their chance.
That's right, Jerry. That's what you try and do, all the training. But, of course, one of the benefits for them to play here at Lang Park, these guys don't get the opportunity like it used to be in the past. Jerry, I can remember it used to be 3 games at Lang Park, both Saturday and Sunday in the old days. There might be a situation here that these guys, this might be their only chance to play at Lang Park, another incentive.
Oh, well and truly. And Warren Boland's down on the sideline. Warren, there's been a threat of rain, but hopefully the conditions will be okay.
Yes, Jerry, there are showers about, but no rain at the present time. Hopefully it'll stay that way. There's no wind either, so very calm down here. But there's an absolute buzz in the grandstand because the grand final in the Queensland Cup is back at Lang Park.
Yes, indeed. And let's see how these two teams managed to get here. Firstly, last week in preliminary final 1, North's amazing. A 56-12 victory over Mackay. Dave, Norths were unbelievable that day. They've got to be hot favourites today, probably.
Well, you're right, Jerry. They led 38-0 at half-time, and it was really off the back of a fantastic forward performance. They had the big steamroller out. They just churned up the middle. I'm sure Northern Pride today will put up a stronger defence in this grand final. What I was really impressed with, apart from their front rowers, of course, but their back row, all 3 back rowers are 21 years of age. Eddie Purcell, Brendan Gibb and Troyden Watini, terrific young kids, the modern-day back rowers. Run wide, run strong, and they'll be hard to hold here this afternoon. And, of course, Norths, what a tradition they've got. If you go back in Brisbane Rugby League, they had the guru of all Brisbane Rugby League coaches in Bobby Baxi, became the mentor to Wayne Bennett. But Baxi won 6 grand finals straight with Norths back in the 60s and early 70s, and he was the man at those days. And I remember talking to Baxi, he said, the hard part's getting to grand finals. The easy part's winning them. Well, I wonder if Kevy Carmichael, the coach of Norths, agrees with that today when Warren Boland asked him a little while ago why he thought he had the team to win it today.
Mate, we can tick all the boxes there, I think, because we've got a pretty good forward pack, some speed out wide and some pretty smart halves. So, we're playing some good footy at the back end of the season, the last 3 to 4 games, so we just need to continue that today.
Yeah, look pretty cool and collected there, Kevy Carmichael. Well, he might be. He's put some great work in. They started the season 8 straight wins, the Norths Devils. A little bit of win-loss since then, and they come up against a very informed Northern Pride. They are capable, and as we showed last week on the Saturday, they put on a blitzkrieg against Northern Pride. This man, Javon White, has had a fantastic season. He's one of those fullbacks who loves to live up in the line, and any opportunities he'll take advantage of. Troyden Watini, man of the match last week. You won't see a better individual solo effort than that one. Over about 15 metres, just kept stepping and fending. This try was a bit controversial. Jack Reed, intercept over 100 metres, went to the video about 10 times to see if he was offside. He was pretty glad he wasn't offside after running 100 metres. And again, Troyden Watini gets through, hands free, little pop up there pass to Daniel Ogden, who's the top try scorer in the competition. It is a very, very strong outfit the Devils put on the park. Pretty well settled from last week as well. Javon White at fullback, Daniel Ogden and Gideon Mazembe on the flanks, Joshua Davui and Jack Reed in the centres. The experienced Shane Perry, a couple of Queensland Cup grand finals under his belt as well as an NRL one. Matty Smith plays well with Perry. There's the back row I mentioned, Purcell, Watini and Gibb. None better in the younger brigade. Mark Liafa hurt his ankle last week. That'll be interesting. Troy Hansen and Asher Alamani. Jerry, they'll take a bit of beating this afternoon.
Oh, well and truly, David, they were awesome last week. But by the same token, in the second preliminary final, we saw Northern Pride put in an outstanding performance to come up with a really impressive win against South Logan. And they know that they're in this with a real show, Warren Boland.
They certainly are, Jerry. They've been strong in the finals, haven't they? Beat Wynnum Manly and then beat the minor premiers South Logan last week. And that means they've now won 11 in a row. And a feature of their recent performances has been their defence, and defence stands you in good stead in grand finals. 11 in a row means they're in tremendous form coming into this big match. And they've got plenty of experience too. They've got 9 players who've played in the NRL, and they've got 10 players backing up from last year's disappointment in the grand final. But that experience will be valuable today. I asked the coach, coach, David Maiden, whether he's confident they can do it today in the big one.
Yeah, look, the boys have had a nice, relaxed approach to it. You know, it's got us there this year. We've really worked hard on that and trying to maintain our composure and our experience. We've got a lot of experience across the park. So the boys are quietly confident, they're calm and they're ready to go.
Yes, they're strong right across the park, but the key to their success today is their halfback, Chris Shepherd. He's playing his final game, in fact, but he has a tremendous record and he will direct them across the field. Of course, the player missing today is their young 5'8", Ryan Stigg. He's out, unfortunately, but Clint Amos filled in there last week, and we saw in that match against South Logan how potent he can be filling in at 5'8". Here he is with the fend, gets it out now to his winger, Michael Barney, who scored 2 tries, had a tremendous game last week. Michael Barney back inside to Rod Jensen, and he's over for the try. Now here's Shepherd, dummy inside, soft pass outside. Cantoni hits the hole. Cantoni always dangerous on that right side of the ruck. Delacourt offloads. Amos is there. Barney's away. Now watch this run from Barney. Tremendous speed initially. He steps back on the inside and then he unleashes the fend. Gets rid of 1, gets rid of 2, goes again. Michael Barney all the way and then celebrates Wendell Sailor style. It was a potent performance from the Pride last week, and this is the way they line up for the grand final. Shy Bird at fullback. Michael Barney and Kane Manahira the wings. Brett Anderson and Rod Jensen the centres. Clint Amos at 5'8". Chris Shepherd the captain at halfback. Joel Reithmuller very strong at lock forward. Nick Sliney and Mark Cantoni the second rowers. Noel Underwood comes into the front row. He'll be starting wearing 16. Ben Lady the other front rower. Jason Roos is the hooker. There's a strong bench as well, coached by David Maiden. The finals are all about winning and losing, of course. It's not so much how you play the game, particularly when it comes to a grand final. Everyone only remembers the winner of a grand final. There's 2 fine teams going head-to-head today.
And the stage is set, and what a stage it is. The Cauldron of Lang Park for the Queensland Cup Grand Final. It's a few years since we've been here for this wonderful event, and we're really looking forward to these 2 teams. And Chris Shepherd leads out the Northern Pride. Don't they look relaxed and calm? Heading out for many of them, their biggest game. For some of them, quite possibly their last game as well. And for somebody like Chris Shepherd, he'd love to think that he can skipper his team to a victory here. He has so much experience. He even played in the Queensland Cup last century. That's how long he's been around. 1999, he played with Cairns in the Queensland Cup. Of course, we've been going for 15 years, and he's just been an outstanding player, and he's led this team well. He's led them through this magnificent run. As Warren said, he'll be without his 5'8" partner, Ryan Stigg, this afternoon, and that's a blow to them. But there's so much experience in this lineup, and that experience will count for a lot in a grand final, well and truly. So the Northern Pride are here to play. They are the pride of the North, and I'm sure that everybody in the north of the state will be looking forward to them putting in a really big performance here. Michael Barney, wasn't he fantastic last week? That run that we just relived, that spectacular try and the celebration, of course.
The North's Devils take the park, and Mark Liafa leads them out, the big skipper. You don't make grand finals without strong leadership, and Mark Liafa has supplied that. Only question mark on Liafa will be the ankle that he hurt last week. He left the field, actually, in what looked to be an innocuous incident. There he is, the big fella. 75 career games. He had played 8 games in the NRL for South Sydney and Sydney City. This man, the most experienced, a huge weight on his shoulders. Shane Perry to drive them around. Gideon Mazembe, magnificent physique, and if he gets opportunities, he'll split them open.
Justin Davis gets the honour of refereeing the 2010 Grand Final, his 94th Queensland Cup game. Elamani will kick off. Asher Elamani. So it's in the lighter blue colours going left to right. Norths, they've just kicked off, and Northern Pride get the first use of the ball in the darker blue colours, of course. And the ball to be played on their 20-metre mark as the big men try to work their way forward. Mark Delacourt was outstanding when he came on off the bench for the Northern Pride, as the ball is played now, and a dart from dummy half, and they get to within 12 metres or so of the halfway mark. So the Northern Pride, look at the enthusiasm of Mark Liafa there in the tackle, just having another go at Kane Manahira, who Manahira, of course, playing on the wing, but he's such a huge man, can have a real impact up the centre. So they've worked their way to the halfway. Dart from dummy half by Underwood, and he gets it into North's territory for the 5th tackle play now. Away to Shepherd for the kick. Hanging in the air, Javon White gets a horrible bounce. Oh, will this keep bouncing towards Northern Pride? It's anybody's here. Northern Pride get the advantage. They have the scrum. Down on the sideline, Warren Bolden.
Yeah, well, a nervous start there for Javon White playing at fullback. Didn't get to it on the full and then has knocked it on. Javon White has been carrying a niggling leg injury, but he played very well last week, scored tries, and nevertheless, that is just going to undermine his confidence to make a mess of the first kick that came his way.
So scrum packing down.
It was a good kick by Shepherd. He was under pressure and just got it away from Javon White. He probably should have done more to try and get it on the full.
Great opportunity for Northern Pride in the opening stages of the grand final. A dart from dummy half by Reef Muller. Shepherd is only 8 metres short of the line. Barney in a dummy half. Northern Pride ready to strike here. Reef Muller again, happy to take it to the defensive line.
Jerry, Shane Perry just put a right hand on Shepherd. Put him to his knees initially too with the punch.
But too experienced. He is over the line but can't get the ball down. So he'll play it.
There for tackle 3.
Tackle number 3.
Is the touch judge coming on? No. No, it's only a couple of halves having a bit of a punch up.
Shepherd now. Shepherd getting the inside man, and the opening try goes to the Northern Pride as it. Noel Underwood, I think, might have scored the try. The Pride celebrate. What a beautiful inside pass there from Shepherd.
Great ball it was, and this is what he's good at. We're now going to have the ref get a touchy over. Perhaps he played advantage here because it was Perry who put the punch on. Let's have a look. Shepherd goes to the line. That's not good defence back on the inside. Underwood slices through. But really no excuse in the opening minutes of the game, especially after you've reset your defensive line after a hold-up. That pass was marginal at best. And Underwood picks up the first try. Let's have a look at the ball. Little step and back on the inside. 50-50 pass. And we're going to get Shane Perry called over now. So the touchy was the defensive player.
Just listen to what we have to say.
Okay, what's happened is
Look at me.
we've had the players get up, the Northern Pride player get up, play the ball, both hang on to each other. Six from North, thrust his forearm into the Northern Pride player's face.
Okay, thank you. Take it away.
Thanks for that.
Shane, just come back, please.
He was telling me to let go. He was telling that bloke to let go.
All right, all I'm going to say to you is it's early on in the game. Just cut that kind of stuff out and we'll get on with the game.
Wow. Well, that was the preceding play, a couple of plays earlier. Perry, the most experienced Shane Perry, clashes horns with Chris Shepherd. And Shepherd's got the last laugh. He might have caught a right cross from Perry that initially put him to ground. He jumped up pretty quickly, I might add. But he was that quickly back up. He was over on the left-hand side to turn the pass back on the inside. Not good defence from the Devils. This early in a grand final, you've got to close out the simplest of inside passes. Now, can Shy Bird add the extras? Pretty good kick it is. Drills it straight between the sticks. And the Underdogs lead 6-0.
Well, it's very smart play from the Northern Pride. It's a wide pass from the dummy half. And then it creates that width, and you'll actually see Asher Elamani came across too far, and the smart inside pass, which went back quite a distance, that caught them out, David. If anything, Asher Elamani, he was the inside man. He did work across, but came across too far, as it turned out. I just put down full credit to the Pride there.
And Elamani himself kicking off. Northern Pride, they'll be very happy with the fact that they got the first 2 sets and that they got to score the opening try in the first couple of minutes. This is Cantoni, who played well last week to help get them into this grand final. Barney going in from the wing to get in at dummy half, but can't find any opening in the defence. But he's got strength and he gets away from Elamani. And now he's got support in Rod Jensen. And he makes it as Mazembe hits him 8 metres short of the halfway. So Northern Pride really starting this game well. Clint Amos taking over the number 6 jumper from Ryan Stigg. Big shoes to fill as the pass goes away to Shepherd. Again, that inside pass for one of his big men. But there's no way through there. And that's Shy Bird actually getting himself right into the middle of the ruck and looking to see if he can find a way through. Shepherd with a bomb this time. Ogden's the man underneath it and takes it comfortably. And Weldon is caught a little bit high there as well by Noel Underwood.
Yeah, just a lazy...
There's a bit of feeling out there.
Well, Norths would want to fire up, let me tell you, because they have been missing tackles. And they probably need a little bit of aggro to get their minds back on the job. Nothing in all that. Nicely taken by Ogden. A little bit of a loose swinging arm there. A bit of a slap more than anything from Underwood. Probably deserved a penalty. And then a little bit of argy-bargy. Now, Norths...
Gee, it's a let-off, though, isn't it? North, the last thing they needed, down 6-0 to be trapped 5 metres from their own line. The penalty lets them escape.
Is this their first touch of the footy?
It is.
Yep. Gets it up almost to the 30. So they've been called on to do all the defence thus far. Charge up the middle by Eddie Purcell, but plenty of defenders in there to put him on the deck. He's still picked up a good 8 or 9 metres. Hansen can't offload Troy Hansen, but he's not going to try anything silly this early in the match, or the tackle count for that matter. Elamani up there to Mark Liafa. Keep your eye on those purple boots today. Just hopefully his ankle's okay from last week. Probably like a bit of a pin cushion, I would have thought. Little chip over up. There's good kick by Perry. We'll get it in a bit of space. Chance for Ramazembe. Throws it to nobody. Went backwards, play on. Picked up Jack Ryan. Beautiful little knock. Who was that? Barney.
Michael Barney, yes.
Yeah.
A fantastic desperation flick with the... Just got the hand out to punch it or lever it across the dead ball. A great work by Mazembe. He was running at pace and he kept the ball alive, and just as Jack Reed looked like he was going to pick that up and score the try. Great work by Barney.
Yeah, this is a big call to make sure that it is a feed for Norths. It could... look, Chris Shepherd's got the ball. I think it's come off Jack Reed's hand. He got the last play on it.
I wouldn't have thought so. I thought Barney is not that dead for sure. He tried to hook it up, Reed, so he's in the action of lifting it up into...
Yeah, I'm not sure that his fingers weren't on it at the last there, David, though. I think they got it right. And that's a big call. And if he had his time over, Jack Reed could have dived on that rather than trying to pick it up.
Don't blame him. I think the chance was on it. Barney came from nowhere because he was on the deck in that tackle. So he's done well. So the Northern Pride, they've got off the hook there. He's the best dummy half runner in the Queensland Cup in Kane Manahira. He didn't get too far that time, but he buys himself a penalty. There's a little bit extra going in almost every tackle. And a little bit of resentment to the extra as well, as you'd expect. Now can the Northern Pride get straight back on the attack again. Underwood, the try scorer, charges up the middle, but again the North's defence strong on this occasion. Wasn't strong when they let him through for that first try. Pass up this time to Reef Muller, was man of the match last week. Kept it alive as well. This time Clint Amos, he hasn't got the ball passing abilities of Stig, but he will give them, he'll ask them a lot of questions by going forward. Reef Muller, second man play to Shepherd, good pass up to Slidey. Slidey, that's play on. 6 play on, back to Anderson, 6 more, pressure, he doesn't have to throw a silly one. They've got him in trouble on the right-hand side if they attack right. Ken Amos creates something as first receiver, fades across, goes himself, he'll do a fair bit of that today. He's not afraid to take the line on. They keep going that right. Ruse close to the line and driven back. North, the Devils under a lot of pressure as the Northern Pride try and get their second try. Couple of dummy runners. Shepherd, pass out here to Sliney. Wasn't really expecting it. Settles. That's the fourth. They get 2 more big plays. Here's the playmaker. Shepherd, little chip over the top, kicking. Oh, knocked on. Knocked on by Manahira.
Big effort by Kane Manahira. He climbed in the air, got the fingertips to it, but couldn't quite control it. He was over the pack, but hoping that he might have been able to regather, but it just was outside of his second grab at it.
Very smart kick from Shepherd, though. He created a 2-on-1 contest for that ball in the air.
Especially against a little man in Daniel Ogden. He's prepared to go up Ogden, but he's not a tall man by any means.
And I think that Shepherd is here ready for a grand final because he's got all the tricks used, everyone just about so far. Dabu is here also for a grand final. Look at that run. He's strong, he's solid. He's one of the most solid centres that you'll find. As the pass goes back inside now, Matt Smith linking with Perry, turning it back inside here for Hansen. Troy Hansen up the middle, 33 metres out. Norths Trailing 6-0, Elamani, Perry. Javon White joins in, but he's well met. Oh, that was a great tackle, wasn't it? Just stopped him totally. There was nowhere he could go. Now, here comes the skipper, Liafa, keeping the ball alive to Smith. But he can't go any further. That's the 5th tackle play now for Norths. Perry. And offloads the pass. They've got to keep it going. Davui. He's got to keep it alive if he can. Well done. Back to Liafa. Nice little grubber from Liafa, but well done. Reef Muller to take the ball for the Northern Pride.
Good passage of play. North threw everything at them and asked some good questions as well. Mark Liafa popping passes and grubber kicking as well.
Yeah, the Northern Pride leading 6-0, but Norths have only had the ball for 2 sets and have been impressive with the ball.
Finding a bit of space, and a couple of pop passes by Liafa's stretched the defence.
And once again, North's big men are having an impact, aren't they? As they did so efficiently against Mackay last week. Going from dummy half here, Shy Bird. 5th tackle now, and they're only inside their 40. So it's been a good set in defence from the Devils. Kick downfield, though, finds grass. So another good kick from Shepherd, and it takes an eternity for Ogden to get this bouncing ball. By the time he does so, there's the defensive line only just outside the 10. So he plays at 15 out from his own line.
Seemed to be a huge space there in front of the posts, and Javon White was on the far side of the field. Ogden came from this side, but they've got to get to the ball quicker than that.
Warren, did you say Javon White had had a bit of an injury during the week?
Yeah, he's been suffering from a leg injury. It's been niggling him for a couple of weeks, but he still looks pretty sharp running the ball, David.
Yeah, but that's the second time, isn't it, that he hasn't got to a kick downfield as sharply as what we would perhaps expect.
Yeah, true. He does look just a little bit proppy.
Norths, meanwhile, have got it up near the halfway. And Perry, well, just outside the 40, I would have thought, as the ball bounces awkwardly again here for Barney. But he has it under control. Good chase there by Brendan Gibb, but he got away from him. Barney's very elusive, and now there's an opening for him, but he couldn't quite get through that last little bit as Davui grabbed a hold of his shoulder along with Watini.
Gee, these jerseys are similar out there, these two strips. I wouldn't be surprised to see an intercept or two today.
Kane Menahira keeps this ball alive, and so Northern Pride
tackle.
They still keep it alive. Menahira again. He's able to offload. Is extraordinary. Reef Muller, can he keep it going as well? Because they've got numbers on the right if they can spread it. But he has to take the tackle just inside the 40. Jason Roos, the dummy half. Carted forward now by Big Ben Leahy. 25 out. Northern Pride in another position here to press for something. Amos with a little kick over the top. Oh, look at Jensen fly here, but the bounce is horrible for Jensen. Great for Mazembe, and he makes it into the field of play just.
Only just, and got hammered too. He'll struggle to get to his feet. That was a huge collision after a very awkward bouncing ball. Jack Reed picks up an extra couple of metres. Good kick by Amos, little chip over the top. Gets it to bounce up, but then eludes Jensen. And then have a look at this. Gideon Mazembe had some work to do. There's a wall of defenders in front of him, and he did well to get it out of there. Brendan Gibb, one of those big back rowers I was talking about. He'll bust a few tackles at some stage today with some wide running. Pass on the outside here to Javon White. Good chance there to Davui. They're getting a little bit of work on the edges. Davui, can he offload to his mate in Ogden? No. Davui's got one of those little flick passes that can come out of nowhere. Wasn't prepared to chance his arm. Good charge down, play on. Well, good pressure there by Nick Sliney. That's excellent, and David Maiden appreciates it too. That's the sort of second effort you need in a grand final.
Yeah, that was a huge effort to race up and nullify the kick.
Which they're doing far better than what Norths are doing on their opponents. Shepherd generally getting easy kicks in. Reef Muller. Amos works there, the dummy half position, decides to run out of there. If you're not going to tackle me, I'll keep running until you do. Gibb finally gets a hold of him. Run out of dummy half. Jensen, good one-on-one, cut down by Reed, throws it back on the inside. Picked up again by Amos. Little spin. Can't get clear. 5th and last. Get ready for the crossfield up here to Shepherd. Going to go back on the inside again. Good break team. Up there to Shy Bird. He'll keep it alive because why not? Up there to Roos. Roos keeps it alive. Good chance for Jensen in the corner. They're in the Northern Pride. Ran it on the 6th tackle. Again, Chris Shepherd Turned it back on the inside to Shy Bird. He had to keep it alive, he did. They finally got it back to this man in Rod Jensen, and he sneaks across in the corner.
From the time the fifth tackle play was ready to be executed, Shepherd was there. You thought the cross kick to the left corner had to be the play that was on, but no, he went the other way. Shy Bird, fantastic. Amos here didn't know where to go. Jensen's called for it. He only had a small amount of room, and he was able to use that room to get through. Here it is again. The ball just Shy Bird keeping it alive. Not quite sure where to go there, Roos. But he got the man that he needed in Jensen, and Jensen was able to finish it off. Well done, Rod Jensen. Well done, the Northern Pride. They go to a 10-0 lead, and they're building pressure on the Devils.
Yeah, good six-tackle play, really, to run it. And when we see the replay again after the try, after the attempted conversion, you'll see North a little bit loose on that blind side. They're down on numbers. This man was the one who ran into a lot of space, went within a metre, and then he just had to pop it out the back because it was six tackle. And then Roos kept a cool head and then found Jensen, and beat Mazembe. And this is another good kick as well by Shy Bird. 12-0.
Yeah, a lot of pressure building there from the Pride on the Devils. And this was excellent work. Running it on the fifth tackle. Shepherd decides to go back in search of Shy Bird. Norths didn't come up. They stayed on their line. They're backpedaling. You've got to come forward and meet them. Great work by Bird to throw it out late. Roos keeps it alive to the right-hand side. Finds the unmarked Jensen. He gets outside the winger Mazembe. That's a fine piece of football in there. Just constant pressure. It started with that Amos kick into the right-hand end to Mazembe. They kept hammering them with the ball. Scored the try.
Great start by the Northern Pride. It's been an extraordinary ride for them right through the final series. An amazing winning run. And there's just this one game left. And they have started it in the way that they've been playing in the last couple of months. So can they keep it going and come up with a Queensland Cup win? They tasted the bitterness last year of defeat, and it is bitter. Here's Kane Manahira pushing off one. He'll have another go now. Davui rebounded from Davui, but there were too many by that stage. But still he's able to keep it alive. He's amazing at doing that. And Roos has caught just 5 metres short of the halfway. Jumping in to be a dummy half, Reith Muller. He's a happening man, likes to really get on with the game, and he's made good ground. That's the fifth tackle, though. And Shepherd with the one-handed pickup means that Amos has the kick, and it's not a bad one either. Look at Barney flying through here, but fantastic work by Javan White. He had no option. He had to get onto that ball. If he didn't, it was probably going to be a try to the Pride, and he got to it just in time.
Yeah, one more bounce and he was gone, so he dived for it as well, right on his own try line. Well done there by Javan White. We've said he's been a little bit slow to a couple of earlier ones, but showed the desperation there.
There's Mark Leaffer. He's off after 17 minutes, having a break, a rotation with Nathan Cleaver out there.
That's not unusual to move your front rowers at around about the 18th minute mark. Eddie Purcell, I think that is, gets it up to the 30-metre line, pleading with the referee that they were holding him down. Matt Smith trying to get it over the head of Shy Bird. Nice work from Bird. Makes a huge difference if you can get the extra effort to take it on the full. And Jack Reed comes up with a strong tackle as the crowd gets even more involved. Ben Latey, good game last week against the Magpies to get them into this grand final. So did this man, Reith Muller, up there to Shepherd. That wasn't part of the script. Lock forward throwing to Shepherd, so he thought, well, I'll just take this and undo any potential damage. Up almost now to the 40. Up to play it there is Starmer. He's come on off the bench as well. Anderson. Last tackle, so they've spent a lot of time inside North Devils territory. Crossfield kick, and attacking one as well. If Barney's onside, I'd say he is. Throws the dummy on the outside. Get a space, Barney. Third try. Get it down, son. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Well, what a football brain Chris Shepherd has. He was the one who set up the first try with the inside pass. Second try ran it on the 6th tackle. This time, the attacking short crossfield kick straight to Barney.
Yeah, don't call it a bomb. It's not. It was a pass to Barney. He knew exactly what he was doing. It was all about kicking the ball straight out to Barney. He knew that Barney had the talent to do the rest. And hasn't he got talent, this man? There it is. It's always directly towards Barney, and he had plenty of time to take it. And that beautiful step that he has, straight inside and wrong footing every man who came across in cover. There it is again. It's yours, Michael, and you can do the rest. Can he what?
Beautiful dummy to Jensen, who looped the outside. That took 2 players away, Barney's dummy. The 2 defenders, Mazembe and Reed, were tempted by the looping run by Jensen, and Barney back on the inside into space. And this guy, once he gets into space, will beat Many and David Maiden. Debut Queensland Cup coach. We had Brandon Costin first
last year.
Yep, last year to win it with a long way off winning this game yet, but he'd be feeling pretty good. I'd rather be up 18-0 than down. Work to be done by the Devils.
When you think about it, but, if he does get the conversion, which you assume he will on his first 2 kicks, it's 18 points in 19 minutes for the Northern Pride. On Lane Park as well. Fantastic place to play. Over the black dot, it is indeed the Pride 18, the Devils 0.
And let's look at the wide shot, make sure Michael Barney was onside. It's a masterclass from Chris Shepherd so far. There's Barney, he is onside. He's behind that 30-metre line. Just trots forward, taking the dummy fooled the lot. It was a brilliant instinct from Barney to throw that dummy to a player looping around him. He caught them all going the wrong way. Very smart play by both Shepherd and Barney. Last year, the Northern Pride scored the first try of the grand final. They led 6-0, but then they fell behind and never hit the front again. Today they lead 18-0. What a start.
Well, it's the perfect start to a grand final to the degree. Look at the completion rates. 11 from 11. Norths have had 6 from 7. Normally you'd be thinking that's pretty good. We're off to a good start in the grand final. But they've hardly seen the ball.
And Jerry, this is where Norths have really got to step up in defence. They've got to force an error because the Northern Pride are totally dominating field position.
Yes, they're back in their own territory at the moment, but they've been so good at bringing it out from there. This time it's Ben Latey's turn to just push his way across the 30-metre mark.
A telling stat for the Devils too. They finished 3rd in the comp and 3rd in attack, but they had the 8th best defensive record. So their defence has never been their strength. They're going to have to strengthen up from here.
Good anticipation by Javan White at fullback. The kick from Shepherd on the 4th tackle, but straight to the fullback.
But I guess since you spoke about that injury, I just sort of wondered about the pace that he showed there. As you're usually pretty quick, Javan White. He didn't seem to be really stretching out, but then again, the defence wasn't too far away.
The Devils have just got to work their way back into this match. 18-0 in the modern game in a grand final after 22 minutes. That is well and truly catchable. You just got to keep your head, play hard footy, graft out a couple of tries.
Score the next try, David. That's the first essential step.
That'll be handy. Perry up the middle and just hung on to. Juggling effort by Morris. Last tackle play. Let's see if they can get an attacking kick themselves. Perry, little banana kick. Nice work, Reith Muller. That's when you've got to be on the alert. Reith Muller comes out the other side. These missed tackles are very costly to the Devils. They might have a fair completion rate, the Devils, compared with the perfect one by the Pride, but their missed tackles would not be a good look. Run out of dummy half there by Anderson. They're not working hard from Marker either. He gets up almost to the halfway line. So the Pride, if they keep the completions going, they're going to keep busting tackles the way this game's going. There's a Manahira, keeps it alive too. Pops the pass up there to Starmer, who goes forward. Got him in trouble with the left side defence if they want to go that way. Amos is the man who's going to try and challenge them there. They come back down the middle, standing in tackle at will. Up to Shepherd. Not much on here. Goes himself, keeps it alive. They're standing there, toying with them. Manahira, he'll break a couple for sure. Pass on the outside to Sliney. Sliney goes straight through. Comes out the other side, no support. Throws the dummy, get up, son. Just brought to ground. Last tackle play. You'd think Shepherd will be able to control something here. Good long pass out to Amos. Keep it going. Beautiful pass up to Scheibert. Is he there? No, short. Lost ball short. Well, the Devils, desperation in the end. That looked for a try for all money. just fumbled.
Give him the ball.
Who was the tackler? He was in space, Shy Bird.
Gee, and how did Nick Sliney not score?
Oh, yeah, just the ankle tap.
Well, maybe that's the let-off that North's needed, and Mazembe's been able to pinch some ground for them. And now the other winger, Ogden, comes in and involves himself, and they get it to within 10 of the halfway. North's with all the work to do. 15 minutes to go until half-time. This is Mick Morris.
Yeah, the Devils crowd here, the spectators very agitated, trying to rouse their team.
Meanwhile, up in North Queensland, everybody senses this is the big chance for the Pride. Perry, though, has other thoughts. Another little banana-type kick, but Shy Bird putting his body on the line takes the ball magnificently and is hit hard by Nathan Cleaver. Oh, it's on now.
Well, Cleaver went in and hit Bird again on the ground, and Bird was struggling already. In theory, Cleaver had a suspicion, I guess, that because Bird was untouched there, he could go and at least land on him, but it was unsavoury.
Yeah, not terribly sporting, but within the rules. He was there to be tackled. He wasn't. He hadn't. Well, otherwise it was going to be a voluntary tackle.
Yeah, all right.
Got a bit of claret
So the
coming out of that
tackle's all
right
right for me,
ear too, I think. So
Take no prisoners in a grand final.
there's a little bit
We're
of
going to have a
blood.
penalty against him for that. Come out, Shane, please.
Well, he's not
I'm
going
right.
to penalise him, is he?
He's calling up Perry.
Mate, you can't.
Well, the up is off.
Did you see it?
You can't strike the ball with your foot when the guy's got it. Yeah, so that incident's going to go on report.
Looked
Penalty's
like a
going to go against you
collision
for
to
that.
me rather than a strike. This will be,
So it's Perry himself.
in the original collision with Bird. And the fact he's got some claret coming out of his...
I thought Bird hit his own player.
I didn't think Perry was in the collision, but I didn't think there was anything intentional there.
Just so shows how much North realise they're behind 3 converted tries. They're already going for that short chip behind the line.
2 of them in recent times too, Warren, and haven't come off either.
But nearly did the last one.
Punch up too. This time Brendan Gibbs in there, and
Ben Spina, he's just come on.
Wow.
Only a feeling, that's for sure.
These guys must have read a few newspaper articles about grand finals at Lang Park from the old days. Because this has had a bit of fire in it. This had more fire than the last 6 grand finals.
I was just speaking to Laurie Spina, the former great halfback from North Queensland. It's his son, Ben, who's just come on and involved in this. Laurie's come down to watch Ben in action.
What I've seen is 15 Northern, after he's played the ball, he's charged forward, he's grabbed the 12 North player, they both grabbed each other, and then at the 15, throwing the first one into 12 North.
Yeah, so if 50 didn't grab North in the first place, that whole incident wouldn't happen.
There's the incident in back play
so we're going to
there.
go a penalty against Northern.
There it is.
For that. We'll call out number 15. And we'll call out number 12 North. We'll do 12. Yeah, I'll have.
Be worth having another
12 North first,
look
please.
at that if we get a chance. Because that was off the ball.
We'll call Northern while he's here. 15 Northern. Just hold there. 15 Northern.
Ben Spina being called out. A bit of Vaseline there for Brendan Gibb.
Yeah, sure.
To stop a bit of the bleeding.
Listen to the report.
Okay, after 15 Northern's played the ball, he stood up and he's walked, he's charged forward, and he's grabbed.
Listen to the report. Listen to the report.
And he's grabbed the North's player.
Okay.
And he's dragged him off the mark. Both players held each other, and then 15 from Northern.
Okay, thanks.
No, he
Steve.
didn't. Hey, look at that.
Let's relax. Talk to me now.
That.
Come back clear, please.
I've never thrown a punch in my life, mate. Oh.
Gentlemen, I want you to just relax and just listen to what I have to say, please. Just come in.
Ben Spina
The
not
whole
impressed.
thing wouldn't have started anyway if you hadn't walked forward and grabbed the North player.
He got pulled down.
So the penalty is going to go against you for that. Go away now.
Can I just ask you something? Can I ask you to have a look at the replay?
I'm not looking at that, mate. Go away.
Mate, have a look at this.
Come out. Number 12 North.
Certainly,
Go away.
Brendan Gibb did throw a punch.
12.
Let's have a look at it. There he
12.
stumbles forward. Pulled over by Gibb.
Come out, please.
Gets up.
Mate, I don't need you to react.
There's a
Okay, you let us take
few
control of
arms,
it. You guys are going to get the penalty.
Flaying
Right?
around
What I need
there.
is just to relax, okay? Mark,
Spina,
mate.
Spina threw something, whether it was a punch, and Gibb threw one back, which was a punch.
This could heat up here now.
That goes on the back of the penalty had just gone to the Pride against Perry for chasing through and kicking at the ball. So this is a huge turnaround that puts the Devils on the attack.
This will be no prisoners, this stuff. Pass this time up to Cleaver. The Devils could get an over-exuberant defence here. Charge forward there by Mick Morris, settles it. Lost it.
Dear, oh dear. Well, Norths have to grab every chance they can possibly get, and that penalty was the perfect chance for them. And a couple of tackles into the set, they've put it down. Only 10 metres out.
He appeals for a strip, as Morris.
Right, nice and easy, boys.
Yeah, look, Norths are showing some signs of frustration, understandably, down 18-0, but they can't allow it to get the better. And if they can niggle at the Pride and put them off their game, well, it might work. But you think the Norths have got to worry about what they're doing wrong, which is missed tackles and not being able to contain the kicking game of the Pride.
And Northern Pride looking to see if they can get some openings from deep in their own territory. This is Brett Anderson. Now Kane Manahira. There's plenty of traffic there, though, so he's not going to get through. You wouldn't have thought, but you never know with Kane Manahira. Just outside the 20. Marking so clear here at Lang Park. Alex Starmer. A special moment for every one of these players to get to play on the Cauldron. Reith Muller, quite a few of them, of course, have played NRL here or have played in residence teams. That's inside the 40, that kick from Roos.
Good kick.
It's a really good kick. And stays inside in the in goal too, and they'll get the goal line dropout. How about that from Roos? What a kick. Jason Roos, that is fabulous from well in your own territory to force the goal line dropout at the other end.
Well, Javan White was hoping the extra bounce was going to save him, but it didn't. In the end, he burnt time and allowed 4 defenders to swamp him in his in-goal area. This is a long trudge for the Devils now. You don't expect to get caught inside your own in-goal from that far out.
Yeah, and whether it's Shepherd or Roos or Amos, every kick has been a beauty from the Pride.
Yeah, they have kicked well.
And here they come now on the attack again. Alex Starmer to play it 32 metres out. Roos the dummy half. Spina's keen for a head up. A legal one, no doubt. And he goes to ground 23 out. Options left and right here. Going to the left to Reith Muller. Shepherd in support. Stepping back inside Anderson. Ball found. It was good support there, and that's what they've been doing magnificently all day, the Northern Pride. Their support play has been outstanding. Roos with another nice little kick, and that'll be another goal line dropout.
Tactically, particularly kicking-wise, this has been a top performance by the Pride. All their kicks have asked questions. They've put Norths under enormous pressure through their kicking. None the least the last try to Barney, but as you're saying, Warren, they've all been in space and dangerous, and they've got plenty of string to their bow.
Well, you combine an effective kicking game with an almost perfect completion rate. And Sliney's nearly away again.
Oh, he is too. Gets to the 20-metre line, so more pressure now on the North Devils. They'd want to be able to hold here, or they'll see a grand final slipping away. Starmer gets it to about 12 metres out. Shepherd standing flat and right. Takes the first pass, goes himself, straight up the middle, couple of metres out. Roos to work the dummy half. A little bit of interference there at the dummy half. You have to step over a player, but nothing illegal. Just held short. Clint Amos wants to be first receiver. Shepherd's moved now to second receiver. Instead, they have a straight runner. Good run it was too by Cantoni. This time to Shepherd, little grubber kick through. Good work from Mazembe. Has he stayed in the field of play?
Only just by the shortest of margins.
Now, the end result appeared to have the ball on the try line, but I think initially he was held and stopped in the field of play. That's where the tackle was affected.
Norths have actually been very good against those short kicks, but they're under so much pressure. You just wonder how long before they crack again.
And the thing is that the ball control of Northern Pride has just been outstanding here today, because they have had umpteen passes. They keep flicking it up, and there's somebody there all the time. This is a good run by Watini. Jordan Watini to play at 8 short of the halfway.
Hasn't been sighted that much so far in the game, Watini, but is dangerous.
Hasn't had too many opportunities, I guess. Smith from behind his 40. If it took a right-hand turn, it would have been fine, but instead it takes a left-hand turn, and so Shy Bird has plenty of time here. And lovely stepping from Bird. Good run, caught from behind in the end by Davui.
This North's defence would have the coach worried, Kevin Carmichael. It's been too loose.
especially in a grand final, where you just got to make every tackle count, haven't you? And they're standing back and allowing them to run at them as well.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of attack ball, the Devils, either, so nothing has gone for them. They're going to need to close things down. Cy Bird wasn't expecting that one after.
Even when they mishandle that, they knock it backwards.
Kane Manahira, he's hardly played the ball today, and yet he's offloaded numerous occasions. Now, going to keep the pressure on here through another good kick. Shepherd hoists it. Asks the question of Daniel Ogden. The hoops coming through. Nicely taken, Ogden. He's quick, Ogden. Gets on the outside. He'll put a bit of pressure on them. Good tackle, though, by the experienced Mark Cantoni. And the crossfield run can be dangerous. There's two wingers running crossfield.
Ogden's very composed under the high ball, isn't he?
Yeah, I was just thinking the word is that there are some talent scouts from the NRL looking at him, and they wouldn't be disappointed with the courage that he showed there to take that ball under pressure. So now the North Devils with a chance to do something with the footy. Jay Aston has played with both teams. 15 short of the halfway. White up a dummy half. This is Brendan Gibb. He was involved in that altercation, and he's able to keep this alive nicely as well. So on the far side, is there any way through there? No, there's not.
I think that's Luke Samoa.
Yes, yeah, played with North Rugby. Now Perry with the kick for the corner. Cy Bird again has time and also has confidence so that the ball trickles across that dead ball line.
Well, every kick's worked for Northern Pride, but the converse is not true for the Devils.
It's interesting there, isn't it? Shane Perry, he didn't really gamble with any risky, adventurous attacking kick on the last play, so they're still confident in their own ability to fight their way back into the game, but he just needed that one to stop, to force pressure.
Well, we just saw that possession stat, 65% to Northern Pride. It's no wonder the Devils have not been able to get into the game.
That's double the ball they've had. That is massive in a grand final.
Kane Manahira, another strong run to the halfway. Ruse, hasn't he played well today? Nice little dummy. I'm happy to take the tackle, 42 out. Sliney, Shepherd. He's Spina, and a nice pass out wide. I think Reith Muller joining in. That's the fifth tackle as they've made it to the 30. No one said it was Cantoni. So now on the right-hand side, Shepherd, another little grubber for his outside men. Barney coming through there on Javon White, but White's collared on the 10.
Well, possession's been hugely, there's Mark Liafari to come back on, hugely in favour of the Northern Pride, and so would territory be as well. Norths really have hardly had an attacking raid inside the 10, let alone 20.
Well, they must be tired from all the tackling. The missed tackles are partly a product of that, but for the Devils, they've just got to fight through till half-time and not concede any more points. If they can get a try, it's an absolute bonus.
They're going to throw a couple of chancy passes. Well, they come off, you're a hero. Javon White now, almost up to the 40. Jay Aston working the dummy half. Perry, short pass up to Brendan Gibb, lost the ball. Picked up, knocked on as well by Reith Muller. Knocked on first by the Devils.
And because it was knocked on first by the Devils, the Pride get the scrum feet in the Devils' territory, and so that whole territorial advantage that you spoke of, David, continues strongly in favour of the Pride.
Big Rod Griffin ready to come on too on the touch line. Papua New Guinea international, so he's a pretty handy strike player to come on when there's tired legs out there.
Start there, front row sec. Get your seconds in. Bring you back.
Their tackles in the opposition, 20. 16 to Northern, 1.
Norths will be wondering, their first half last week, Jerry, was almost perfect. They led 38-0 at half time. Now they've had a horror first half.
And the one time the Devils carried the ball into opposition territory, they dropped it only 15 metres out attacking. Second tackle.
So they had the perfect first half last week. The week prior to that, Mackay had the perfect first half against Sunshine Coast. And today, it's been the Northern Pride with the perfect first half. So does that indicate that they're going to go on and win it? Well, North know it's a grand final, so they're just going to have to find something extra. And I'll tell you what, Reith Muller doing a terrific job here to get them to within 20. Now Ruse. Well, There you go. It had to happen at some stage. Cantoni getting a pass that really was going over his shoulder almost from the beginning. So not a good pass from Rooster Cantoni. But you can forgive the Pride for the occasional mistake. There haven't been too many.
No, they've been almost without blemish.
Well, that's right, David. We've almost seen the perfect half of football from them.
Yep. Aston runs out a dummy half. He scored a try in the first half last week, ran 60 metres. So he'll give them a bit of dash in there. Perry, bit of a dummy, goes himself, comes out the other side, looks for support, up to Jack Reed, he's got support in job. Oh, what great tackle from behind. Was that Anderson?
Yes, it was. Brett Anderson, fantastic tackle.
Perry back in play again, decides to go back up the middle, needs to keep it alive up there to Jack Reed, ducks underneath. Good tackle though by Shepherd to get a hold of the ball. Perry wants it again on the left. Encouraging a little bit extra depth and width outside him. Let's see if he gets the players where he wants them. Back on the inside of Mark Alpha. Good stepping run. He is a good stepper, but short. Last tackle play. Perry's deep. Goes to the line up there to Brendan Gibb. The good straight runner. The back rower's done it. The back rower. There's no better back rower for straight running in the Queensland Cup. And Shane Perry, after insisting his players get wide and deep off his left shoulder, got Brendan Gibb exactly where he wanted him.
It's almost as if Shane Perry has said, we've got to do something. This is ridiculous. He's really injected himself. He's been looking for his key men. He's looked several times for Jack Reed and sent him close. And this time he had his straight running Brendan Gibb going for the line. Served in the beautiful pass, and Gibb was able to do the rest. Here it is, Perry having to pick it up down at his knee. I'm not sure actually about the pass from Perry across to Gibb, but the officials thought it was okay, and so Gibb celebrates a try that North desperately needed with a couple of minutes to go to half-time.
Yeah, he's got the spoils of war there, the claret coming out of the nose. He had a clash earlier. It brought the officials to onto the park, and finally the Devils have got a try they had to get. They had to get it, and all of a sudden, if this is the score at half-time, it will be a totally different dressing room. This is the side who put 56 points on last week. They can score points, and Troyden Watini, the top point scorer in the competition, converts at 18-6.
Yeah, very important for the game. And let's see the break that really started this. Shane Perry had a crack at them himself. A couple of dummies. He forces his way through. Missed tackle, and out he comes. Gets it to Jack Reed. Reed had White with him. White didn't quite have the speed to get away from Anderson, but that got them in attacking position. And Perry holds the pass back late. The defenders were in two minds. Was he going to pass wide? He passed short. Three of them had a crack at Brendan Gibb, but what a powerful try.
Sure was, so will that be the turning point for North? Oh dear, isn't it extraordinary? The mistake coming from Northern Pride, and so North will get a penalty on the halfway with a minute and a half to go to half-time. They might be able to score some more points, and Perry's keen. Gets up there. Has he found touch? He hasn't. That's the...
Could you believe that?
That's impatience,
I guess.
A kickoff
goes out on the full, and then they fail to find touch from the penalty, and there's a minute up to half-time. The pressures of a grand final.
You can understand that Perry felt that he'd give himself more time by getting the kick in quickly, but it was just a little bit too rushed.
This will crush the Devils if they concede a try here now.
Rod Griffin playing the ball, and Northern Pride happy to have the ball in hand right now, you would imagine. This Spina was caught on the halfway. Back infield again, Nanahira still able to keep it alive.
He's playing like Artie Beetson.
He's been uncanny today with the way he's been able to get that ball away. Bruce, Shepherd. This is a nice little one meant for Anderson, but nicely taken by Matty Smith for Norths.
And well read by Smith that it was always a threat from Shepherd, who does that little chip over the top so well. They've lost that. Play on. Nick Sliney gets to midfield. Here's another chance. 10 seconds up to half-time.
Field goal.
Griffin, they'll back themselves. Griffin takes it on. Shepherd up flat. If is anyone going to go a field goal, it'll be Shy Bird. There's the hooter.
Well, there you go, half-time, and the first half has totally belonged to the Northern Pride, leading by 18 points to 6. It has really been a dominant performance, but just the fact that North scored that late try and converted it means that it's just 2 converted tries the difference at half-time, and Norths are certainly not out of it. But we've got 40 minutes of great action to come in the 2010 Grand Final, where at half-time it's Northern 18, North 6.
Tune in.
Half-time in the grand final here at Lang Park. 18-6 at half-time in favour of Northern Pride, who were the underdogs. Warren, Norths were on life support system there for a while. I think there's just a heartbeat at 18-6.
Yeah, definitely a very important try, wasn't it, to get them back in the picture. A remarkable half of football, really. Yep. We saw 37 minutes of almost perfect football by the Northern Pride. The last 3 probably not quite as perfect, but 3 very good tries. They completed so well. They kicked so well. Backed up, offloaded. They did everything just right. Chris Shepherd pulling the strings, but then desperately needed the Devils scoring that try on the back of some Perry inspiration.
Yep.
And at 18-6, we are set for an exciting second half.
Yeah, as you say, Chris Shepherd pulling the strings. He's one of the best puppeteers you could imagine. And beautiful inside ball here. Flat ball it was, but it really opened up the Devils as they were caught out in the 3rd minute with an inside pass. Well, you'd reckon you got intensity in a grand final after 3 minutes, Warren, but well, that's a fairly yawning gap.
Yeah, I just think it was the width of that pass from dummy half to Shepherd. He's heading out. Look at this pass. Roos throws it a long way, and then all of a sudden, Shepherd back inside, and the Norths had players there, but they'd been stretched, and the holes were opening. And while there were men coming from the inside, there was one at least. There should have been 2. There was only one coming across, and it was opened up on the inside for Underwood, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. There was a stat at one stage that the Northern Pride had completed 11 out of 11. I think Norths was 6 out of 7, so very low mistake rate, obviously, but twice as much ball almost there for Northern Pride. They were capitalising on it. They were living inside North's territory.
And Shepherd, particularly with his kicks, just kept pushing them back, placing them beautifully. A lot of pressure from bombs originally, then some short kicks into the in-goal area.
Yep, and then a 6-tackle play. So dangerous. A lot of sides use this intentionally these days, the 6-tackle play. Beautiful pass back on the inside to Bird, who makes a good incision to there, stays alive. Roos has a look left. He said, hang on, that's covered, but it's not covered on the right-hand side, and Jensen sneaks in the corner.
Yeah, running it on the 5th tackle. They didn't go for the kick this time. Shepherd realised something was there. Norths didn't move up. The defence from the Devils had to come forward. They didn't. They didn't get off their own line. And in the end, these interchange of passes, Shepherd, Bird did brilliantly well. Roos and Jensen over in the corner. 12-0. And the Northern Pride just chock full of confidence.
They were. Some of that confidence, Warren, I think, has come from the Devils. Have missed probably too many tackles. We'll see some stats shortly, but an enormous number of players breaking tackles for the Pride.
Yeah, the Devils came out pretty strong, but fairly quickly. I think it's this ball movement and some unloading of the passes has just got them guessing the wrong way, and tackles are being missed that should be made. So there's no real pressure on the Pride. They're just going forward quite easily.
Yep, and as you say, Warren, the kicking game's been just top shelf, and this cross-field attacking kick, Jerry called it a pass. Well, you can kick forward. That's as good a gridiron move as you can get, because you can kick forward in the rugby league game. He puts it forward there to Michael Barney, who does some good work with the dummy on the outside to Jensen, beats 2 and then cuts back on the inside.
Well, it was a fine kick, but it's an even smarter piece of play by Barney, isn't it? To throw that dummy with someone looping around the back. He had to have that player there to give him something to dummy to, but that's sent all the cover defence going the wrong way. Look at this. Around Joe Jensen, Barney comes back on the dummy, inside 3 defenders, and look, only 19 minutes gone, and it was 18-0.
18-0, yeah. They'd converted every try. They'd been in total command. The Devils, their kicking game had let them down a little bit, Warren, hadn't it? You mentioned there at one stage a couple of short kicks, the long kick going dead, so nothing had worked for them.
Well, fairly early they were already trying that short chip over the top in the middle of the park. You know, you're still already getting a little bit desperate when you do it, as much as one of those nearly came off, and I guess there was a bit of physical interchange between the players, a couple of punches being thrown, a few penalties. It got a bit rough for a while, and maybe that did get Norths back into the game.
Yeah, it was like the old grand finals of old here at Lang Park. There was plenty going on, but Norths had to get a try in this first half to stay alive, and in the dying minutes, Shane Perry just gives the pass up to Brennan and basically says, mate, do it yourself, because his angle initially beat the outside defender, then he had to break 2.
Yeah, look, he holds the pass back, delivers it late, and then gives it plenty as he goes at them. They were defenders. They weren't quite organised in the defence, and I pay a bit of tribute to the lateness of the pass. Look at Perry, holds it back. The defenders are there, but they just get out of alignment, And Gibb is a powerful runner, plunges over. That's a great, a real weapon there, Brendan Gibb. Good try, important. He knew how important it was.
Yeah, very important. That'll change the whole feeling in the dressing room at half-time at 18-6. That's nothing when it comes to the second half.
And David, Shane Perry, I mean, he really stepped up in the last 10 minutes. He took it to the Pride. He knew that things were desperate for North.
Yeah, one of his big busts that actually got him into that try-scoring position. So he's a danger man for the second half. The Northern Pride will know that. The stats at half-time will be pretty sick and sorry for the Devils, I'd suggest.
Well, the penalties are 3-2 to the Devils. So
they're winning that anyway.
But completions have improved because early on they only had barely 50% of the Pride's ball. But now 11 out of 15 versus 19 out of 21. Still a very healthy share of possession for the team from Cairns. North have spent more time in their own half. They spent a lot of time in their own half in the first 20. Total tackle, look, they've made 60 more tackles. It chews up the juice. They've missed 18 tackles. The line breaks are favouring the Pride. The scoreboard says 18 points to 6. And that's a fair indication of the Pride's dominance.
Yes, it is. Kevin Carmichael, the coach of North, normally a fairly cool dude. I'd say there won't be much cool statements in the dressing room. He will be into them. They'll realise this next 40 minutes, well, it's everything. It's the grand final. Northern Pride, all the people up in North Queensland. Your side's in front. They're not home yet. Should be a good second half. We'll be back in a moment.
Tonight is...
Welcome back to Lang Park on Grand Final Day 2010, and the Northern Pride is, well, they've put a grip on the Queensland Cup. Can they put both hands on it after 40 minutes, leading by 18-6 over the North Devils? Well, we've already had two grand finals here, and East got out of jail. A late penalty goal gave them a 2018 victory over Wynnum Manly in the Colts. And in the Fogs Cup grand final, Redcliffe were too good for Burleigh, getting home by 12 points, winning it 26-14. They know what it's like to win a grand final. Which of these two teams? Will it be the Pride? Will they go on with the job that they started so magnificently in the first half? Or will we see North Devils come back after that late try in the first half? Will that be a real turning point in this match? And maybe they can come back, and if they score a try and convert, they're within a converted try then, and it's anybody's game. But certainly the way the Northern Pride played that first 40 minutes, they look like they're going to be extremely difficult to beat. We've got supporters representing both teams here, youngsters, a little bit of everything on Grand Final Day. They've had their chance on Lang Park, something that many of them... There's Laurie Spina down there. Laurie in the dark hair at the front right-hand corner of the screen. So Laurie's son, Ben, of course, playing with the Northern Pride. What a terrific player, Laurie. And Laurie's all excited because the Roosters got through last night as well in the NRL.
Right. Distinguished career he had, Laurie Spina.
Yep, absolutely. And, of course, he'll be... the Roosters will be playing the Gold Coast Titans next Friday night here at this very ground. So I don't know whether Laurie will be back for that, but he'll certainly be urging on his Roosters team against the Titans.
Good promotion for today's game. A lot of young kids here to watch the grand final. Big reunions too. The Men of League have had a big reunion going on here today for grand finalists from 60, 70, 80, 90 and 2000. And also talk about reunions. Valley Diehards have got a reunion coming up on the 1st of October at the Valley Junior Clubhouse, the old Valley Diehards. You can go out there at Bigger Street, The Grange, 33567257 if you'd like to go to the Valley's reunion 1st of October.
And John Graham from Nambour wrote us a really nice letter during the week as well. He's enjoyed his Queensland Cup coverage right throughout the year over many, many years. And he remembers being a kid at Davies Park. And so he really enjoyed seeing last week's game when we were back there at Davies Park. And he was agreeing with you, David, that at the centre he used to be extremely hard.
What concrete it was, but this is a carpet out here. An absolute pleasure to play here at Suncorp for these guys. In the old days, between the 25-yard lines, this time of year was dust or mud. Have a look at that there. Perfection.
Second half is underway. Justin Davis rules time on, and North Devils with all the work to do in this second half. They're trailing by 12 points. 40 minutes of action. There's no reason why they can't work their way back into the game. Watini, strong, powerful, playing at 25 out from his own line. Jack Reed wants to be involved in a hitter. He's a big, solid boy, is Jack Reed, and he's particularly dangerous out wide. This is Brendan Gibb, try scorer in the first half for North Devils. Their only try in the match so far. Straightening up goes Nathan Cleaver and makes it to the halfway. So a solid first set in the second half. That's the 5th tackle now. Perry, there's not too much pressure on him. He's able to get his kick in okay. It's an awkward bounce here. Now it might pull up here.
Oh,
but it has gone across the dead ball line and then come back in. So, well, that was nice patience shown there, but I don't know that I would have been as patient as Shy Bird was.
And Jerry, I've got Gavin Payne with me, and Gavin's been to the dressing rooms to see what the coaches had to say.
Yeah, look, Kevin Carmichael was very calm, and that first set seemed to indicate exactly what he was saying. He's saying nothing changes, boys. We're a bit behind on the scoreboard, but just stick to the patterns, which is obviously what they're trying to do there. He said that the Pride are doing everything better than they are at the moment, and they've got to just lift in every aspect of their game, and basically they've got to get numbers in tackle and shut down the Pride offloads. David Maiden also obviously pretty happy. He was very happy with the first 30. Thought they took their foot off the pedal in that last 10. They started to go a little bit laterally, didn't play direct enough, and they just backed off a little bit in defence. He wanted to keep their kicking game going. It's been excellent in that first half, and he feels that North's just started digging out of their own end very well. Look, from my side of things, guys, I think the way that the Pride are playing their game, they've got Reith Muller there sort of running like a ball player, playing like a 5'8". They've got 2 dummy halves in Amos and Roos, and I think they're just playing the game a little bit better, a little bit faster than the Devils at the moment.
And one of their playmakers, Chris Shepherd, is down on the field getting attention. I'm not sure whether it's to attract some attention, but the trainer, I think, is trying to grab the attention of one of the officials. So it looks like Shepherd might be in a bit of trouble here, and the referee is ruling time off.
It was when he put the kick up, and I thought it was a fairly soft bump on him. These days, kickers are a protected species. It'll be interesting to see whether they go back and decide there was some problem with it. All the officials would have had a clear view of it. Just a push. To me, there's nothing in that.
Shaq Reed, the man coming through.
Yeah, he may have fallen awkwardly, but
there was always going to be a collision, wasn't there? It couldn't have been avoided. Whoa, but he looks like he's in a bit of trouble here, Chris Shepherd. They've found a sore spot there.
And it's down low on his leg, I think. Has he hit the deck awkwardly?
Yeah, it might be the way he landed, yes.
That could be the only sort of injury you'd get from that, and they do try and protect them in the air. But you are allowed to make a tackle. If you're in the action of making a tackle, you can't shoulder charge and you can't be late.
But Chris Shepherd is so important to this team.
Oh, yeah.
This could be a turning point in the grand final if he's unable to keep going.
He's going to retire after this game too, so let's hope he is okay. In fact, he wants to get back to his... He wants to sit back up his left ankle, the left lower leg. Oh, gee whiz, you'd hope there wasn't a break there.
Look, Reid really committed himself to making contact. Whether or not you deem that making a tackle, David, did he drive with the shoulder and the arms? Probably not.
Just pushed him.
But he really just pushed him from the side. He didn't make contact with the head. It's the way Shepherd's fallen. Probably on him just as
How does that left leg come down? He doesn't look to be much in that.
Doesn't look too bad, does it?
It's just bad luck for Chris Shepherd.
He's back to his feet. That's a good sign. But he's quite ginger.
We just checked to make sure there's no penalty here against
I don't think there
Reid.
should be for mine. I think there was...
no, nor do I.
There was nothing in that.
He seems to be moving all right.
Yep, he's okay.
He's back into a jog, yeah. A bit of a limp there.
Well, the Devils now to try and work it out. Very good pass to get it on the outside straight away to Watini. Anderson there, Shepherd into try and assist in the tackle.
They're close to the touchline and into touch.
Wow. Troyden Watini. Well, it's Davui, is it? I think it was Watini that had the ball. How he ends up being carted this far toward the touchline and then a panic pass to try and save the day.
Unfortunately, he thought Ogden was on the sideline, but Ogden had just gone in, thinking that he might get the offload back inside.
They decided to go wide from that play. It was a cutout ball that went to Matty Smith and then out to Watini, but it's brought them undone, and that could be very costly.
That is a panic pass.
I think he was headed for the touchline, so he probably had to throw it back in, but they could pay the price. Up this time to Clint Amos, goes himself. He'll always put pressure on the defence, Amos. Mark Cantoni, low tackle there by Gibb, but he breaks that tackle. They can't afford to miss tackles, the Devils. Over the top then, good tackle was by Cleaver in the end. This time Rod Griffin, a good busting run by Griffith. He's there! Well, we're going to go to the video to make sure he grounds it. I said when he was coming on early, late in the first half, he is an explosive impact player, and he is confident with some hand slapping of that magnitude. He definitely got through and got to the other side and slams it down. Not a problem. Well, that's bad defence by the Devils. Not good. Jay Aston and Leafa, the last two, trying to save the day, but it's too late then. He hit the line about 8 metres out. That's fair enough. And squirted that into the ground. And that is not good defence by the Devils. They ran into touch, basically, or through the silly pass, and then they've conceded a soft try. Their defence has not been up to it today.
Well, you said it, explosive and impact. Look at the impact of this run. Straightens up at the gap. Mark Leafa clings to him. Also clinging to him there was Jay Aston. They couldn't stop him.
Watini gets a hit in the head here, Jerry. I think the guy on the outside falls off the tackle after that collision, holding his face. So that's probably one of the reasons Griffin was allowed to continue his charge.
Wasn't that copybook running the gap, running for the gap? There was a wall there, and he just hit the shoulders of both men. And it was enough to get him through. Shy Bird from in front for the extras. And now it's a big lead, 24-6 in favour of the Northern Pride.
Well, the Devils have paid the price for that bad pass which went over the sideline. Look at this powerhouse charge. What a strike early in the second half. Rod Griffin knocks Watini out of the road and over, and then through Leafa and Aston. Just a powerhouse charge by the PNG International.
Big try, most important try in a grand final. Norths are the team that you thought had to score first in the second half. And now they're back to an 18-point margin. So the Northern Pride, here he is again, after scoring the try, Rod Griffin. And still they can't hold him. Takes 4 to get him to ground. And still manages to get up and have a nice quick play the ball as well. So the Northern Pride have played confidently from the kickoff here today, and they continue to play with that same sort of confidence. Here's Ben Spina. 15 from halfway. Carted forward now by Reith Muller. We had the man going through the centre again, and it was Griffin once more. Had he been able to get a pass to him, it might well have been a case of shut the gate. How much will Chris Shepherd be hampered by that lower leg injury, I wonder? He didn't seem to move a lot there. He might be just quite content. He's able to get the kick in okay, though. Javon White takes it nicely on the full. And once again, you just wonder, it doesn't seem to be the same amount of pace that you normally see from Javon White when he's bringing the ball forward, but this penalty will help them get out of their own territory.
He might have been a little bit lucky there. There was some interference, but I don't think it was a really good, clean play the ball by him either. But that was...
second penalty Ben Spina's been involved in, which he's been heavily disputing.
And White there to get up to play it. Stumbles forward, and then was probably slightly pushed in the back by the previous defender, so now can the Devils.
Well, the Devils have got to show some resolve here and now, haven't they, if they're going to fight back in this grand final. Remember 1998, they were down 16-0 against West, came back to win that grand final. Kevin Carmichael was a player that day.
And Matty Guy, I think, scored a hat-trick, didn't he?
He did.
They were associated with the Melbourne Storm, the Devils. Up there to Perry, nice pass on the outside of Brendan Gibb, but good defence by Jensen, didn't allow him to step away, trapped him quickly. Slowly up to play it. Yes. On the outside to Cleaver, back to Perry, back to Matty Smith. On the outside to Watini, he can beat a man. Tries to get on the outside, gives it up there to Davui. Good sliding defence to cover them. Each time the Devils fed the ball, the Northern Pride were there to adjust and cover them. Up the middle there, Nathan Cleaver. Last tackle play. Can they get a good attacking kick and a result? Perry, he'll decide to go up the middle as well. Look forward. There's Javon White. Well, there's Perry trying to put the same play on that Shepherd did for their first try, but the Pride closed it out.
Yeah, just good defence, isn't it? Because it was very smartly executed by Perry and White. They showed a bit there, the Devils. Watini down the right side, Perry and White up the middle. They've got to produce more than that.
Mark Delacourt coming on by the look of it.
They've got to dominate possession, the Devils, for them to be any chance at all.
Going from dummy half, Kane Menahira.
They somehow have to rattle the Pride, and the Pride look a very patient, composed team, don't they?
Yeah, and they've got that experience, haven't they? So many of them. Well, there you go. These are the sorts of things that Norths need to happen for them, but then they've got to take advantage of it and capitalise on it.
As Warren said, how do you rattle a side? Well, you get out of marker and get the dummy half, and Jensen there wrapped up by Watini. So they're the little things that can turn the game. The Devils do their best work at this end of the park. They're not here as the best defensive side. They're far from it, but they are very good with ball in hand. They just haven't had any today.
Bend your backs there, fellas.
Have a look at that.
Nice and tight. There we go.
They're creeping back.
Head right in there, Joel. Come on, boys, get it together.
That's a licence for defeat there.
It makes this set vital.
Come on, pull it in
The other
tight.
thing is, given the amount of tackling that they've had to do throughout the game, you imagine the last 15 minutes they're going to be tiring first.
Well, let's have the ball to actually run it to the end, I'd say.
So here they go. Perry electing to spread it wide. Luke Samoa showing a bit of pace and elusiveness, but stopped just 42 out.
Mazembe should have gone back on the inside there. It was a good opportunity to evade 4 players by running an inside run.
Yeah. Jay Aston going into the dummy half roll. Perry taken forward by Liafa, wearing headgear in the second half, the skipper, Mark Liafa. They're inside the 30 Norths as Aston finds support in White. Kept alive now, Smith has the man, Watini going back inside, back to Smith. Nice pass out to Davui. Davui! 15 short.
Good adjusting defence.
Smith. Back it goes to Perry. Well, he's got it out to Samoa. Samoa for the line himself is close and gets there! Norths needed that. The game's alive again as Samoa scores for the Devils.
Oh, what a great ball by Shane Perry. Chris Shepherd is guiding the way for the Northern Pride, and Shane Perry is doing it for the Devils. Have a look, he lets one go, lets a dummy runner go, which could have been his preferred choice, and then launches the pass out to Samoa, put him a little bit of pace in a bit of space. Again, Mazembe was watching rather than being ready for a support, I thought. There's the pass by Matty Smith, the halves in unison. Long ball by Perry's a beauty. And then have a look at Barney having to shuffle back. The defence on the inside couldn't handle Samoa, and he gets across the line. The Devils, they won't let go. They are a good team with the ball. And if they can get some, well, far more than their share. What have we got to go now? About 30 minutes left. If they can get 20 of those with the ball, we'll have a ball game. What a good try. Beautiful awareness by Perry. The peripheral vision of the ball players.
Important conversion.
Yeah, this is to get it back to 12 points.
But back him in.
Yeah,
he's good.
Good kicker. He's missed it.
I should have kept quiet. Sorry, North supporters. 24-10, Northern over Norths.
Well, Norths have capitalised on the drop ball by Jensen, and Matt Smith gets the pass wide. The second man play behind Brendan Gibby, pulled in a lot of defence, and I think he even got to Rod Jensen just to come in a little too far. Jensen then turned and tried to chase back out to Samoa, but couldn't get there.
So Norths just keep their slim hopes alive. And their skipper, Mark Liafa, goes with enthusiasm to the 20. But look at the enthusiasm of the defence from Northern Pride as well. And there David Maiden just on the edge of his seat. Even though his side has a 14-point margin in a grand final, you'd love to have that in any grand final, but he knows that it's far from over. Strong run here by Cleaver. Up almost to the halfway. The momentum is building for the Devils. From dummy half, the offload. Perry, a lovely pass to Javon White.
Good defence.
And that was...
And they've earned that penalty by really asking questions. The pass back on the inside, Javon. Perry's going to run it. He's going to take him on. He reckons he might have him on the rack here. Cleaver up to 22 metres out. Perry's going to call the shots again. Got a man back on the inside. Goes to Jack Reed. Reed looks for a spot. Couldn't throw it. I don't know why. I don't think his arm was blocked. Aston to Perry. Perry steps, goes himself. Shane Perry. Oh, good tackle, Shy Bird. I think it was Shy Bird who stopped him in his tracks. Yes, it was. Playmaker out of play. Up this time to Matty Smith. Give it out to Watini. If he can do it, anyone can do it, he can. But the defence is there again. Shy Bird, the last one to stop him. Goes to ground as well. Mark Liafa to the line, stands, offloads. Aston, not backwards. No.
Bad luck for Troyden Watini.
He was struggling after the previous play. And then he was really on the ball. And let's have a look. 50-50 call.
Yeah, I thought it went back, but it had broken down, and it was so promising early. How close did Perry go? And every shot they had was desperate defence by the Pride. You've got to give them credit for hanging on. Now, you'll notice Jack Reed there. He's in the scrum. Norths are using him as a forward. Now, he's not playing in the centres. Samoa's out there in the centres instead. I think Reed's been in there as a forward weapon for quite a while.
Okay. Can the Devils defend?
4. Keep your head and put
the
it in.
big question mark.
Time's on. Put the ball in there.
Can't. It'll be all over.
Out.
Moss, the settler, will quick play the ball, or we'll have the defence still going backwards. Mark Cantoni, another strong run. The Devils now are set for the first time with their line. Let's see if it moves up and gets anywhere near advantage line. Cantoni slow to his feet, very slow, and he doesn't stay down. Mark Cantoni, surging run there by Ben Leahy, but that's better off the line defence by the Devils. They're going to have to keep pushing if they're going to compete. Brett Anderson runs out of there. Happy to steal a few metres by the dummy half run. Roos fires it straight up there to Reith Muller. Looks on the inside dummies. Goes himself. Lost it. The Devils. They're still alive.
Well, the Northern Pride are making more errors in this second half by a big margin than in the first half, and that's allowing North to just get these little tastes of getting back into the game. There, the errors now, North 7, Northern Pride 4.
You're dead right, Jerry. Reith Muller loses it there. Jensen dropped one earlier. Then there was the penalty against Cantoni and Roos that they didn't have to give away. They are giving the Devils a chance.
Watini in trouble. He's got his hand up. He's pulled out of the scrum.
Time's off, mate.
And when you think back to the first half, they had 11 from 11. That's right. At one stage when we had them up there, the possession now is swinging back towards North.
First time they've been over 40%, the Devils, in the match for sure.
And there are still 26 minutes to go in the game. Plenty of time. Here's Samoa showing them a real chance there as he makes it almost to the halfway. Javan White in a dummy half. Gideon Mazembe now.
He's got to get more involved, Mazembe. That's upending.
If they're not making mistakes, they're getting on the wrong side of the referee here.
Come out.
It was accidental combination of forces.
You're the bottom guy. You're lifting him. Just going to put both. Yeah, you're the guy on the bottom. You lift up the legs, right? So we're just going to put it on report. So put both on report for that tackle.
Make sure you're referee, not them, mate.
Yeah, there's plenty of North support in the crowd, as you can understand. We're in Brisbane.
Chris Chapman just giving the referee a reminder, as if he needed one. So the North can go on the attack once more. This is Troyden Watini. 25 metres out. Or Nathan Cleaver, rather. Slow to his feet. Mark Liafa, the skipper. Makes it across the 20.
It's a good stepper, Liafa. If he gets into a bit of space, he can beat a man.
Aston's the dummy half. Perry now. What are his options? Going by himself, but it was well read. Just wonder if he'd have got that pass to Gibb that time. Gibb looked like he was going to go through. Now it's Gibb Stern. How close can he get by himself? Lovely pass. Mazembe's in the corner. The grand final's alive.
We're going to check the touchline, but he scored it all right. Well, I was a bit critical of Mazembe for not going inside on a couple of occasions. Well, he knew exactly what he was doing there. He was just waiting on his touchline for the miracle ball. He surely got this down. Yes, he has. And the Devils, 2 tries in a row to the Devils. And they are just putting some heat back on the Pride here. Great work by Brendan Gibb. Scored the try in the first half. Have a look at this, from nothing. And then the trade ball. Beautiful work by the big back rower. Gets away from the grasping hands of Underwood and then just trays it off to Mazembe. Have a look at this. Beat one. and then tray it off when you've drawn the opposing winger. Gideon Mazembe hugging the touchline, all split-second stuff, instinctive in a lot of ways, and his 9th try this year. What have we got? 24-14. 24-14, 10 points. Probably got to score twice to win it anyway, but Ken Watini hit this one better. His last kick was easier. He's back 25 metres as well. This is a long kick he's given himself. And he has got it! Just as well he didn't go back another half a metre. It glanced off the crossbar.
Well, tremendous fight back here by the Devils, and it's a one-on-one miss. Clint Amos at the ankles of Brendan Gibb couldn't make that tackle. Gibb smart, beautiful pass out to Mazembe. Great reactions from Brendan Gibb to set up the try.
Game on now. The grand final's alive. Norths are back in it. 8 points the difference. Sure, they've got to score twice. But there's 24 minutes left in the grand final, so that's a lot of time. A lot of time for mistakes and a lot of time for playing good footy. And Norths are on the rise, it would appear. Momentum can change, of course. Perry with the offload. Playing really well here, Brendan Gibb. That was a magic pass that he gave to Mazembe. He plays it on the halfway. Samoa from dummy half, a strong run. They're into Pride's territory again. That's the 5th tackle. Perry's on the right. That pass was a little high, and so he had to probably change his original intention, but Shy Bird in good position. Grabbed there by Jack Reed.
Yeah, wouldn't be happy with that, Perry. Had a bit more room to work than knock it to Shy Bird. Not the result he wanted, but still, got him on the 2nd tackle inside the 30.
Well, Northern Pride need the momentum to shift here, and it'll be up to them to do it. They played such great footy in the first half, and now they're battling. They've got to hold on to the ball.
A round of applause for tackling Kane Manahira low.
Clint Amos here, staying alive, getting to within 12 of the halfway. That man, Kane Manahira, dummy half, up the blind side he goes. Look out of my way, Perry. Keeps on going, and up to the halfway goes Manahira on the 5th. Amos in a dummy half. Shepherd with the high bomb. Testing out Javon White, but he's got plenty of time, White. He can be elusive, but he's well met on his own 20.
Chance to spread it straight away if they want to.
So it wasn't a bad set for the Northern Pride. If they can keep Norths pinned down in their own territory, they can get themselves into a position where they can get some more points. And if they do, then they might just grab a hold of that Queensland Cup.
Good 3 tackles by Northern Pride. They've stopped their forward thrust.
Strong run here by Eddie Purcell. Almost to the halfway. Aston, the dummy half. Perry. Liafa. That's the halfway mark, and that's the 5th tackle. Perry now with the kick. Again, Shy Bird has plenty of time. Perry a good chase, but now the danger man Barney.
Oh, he lost it! Offside! Offside! Well, do you take 2 and bring it back to a 6-point ball game?
Oh, that's an interesting decision.
This is a gimme 2.
It is indeed. And there's 20 minutes to go in the grand final. Whatever you do, don't kick for touch and not find it.
Gonna have a go at the big ones. Troy Hansen brings it forward. The Devils will back themselves. There's the big tackle on Barney. Appealing for a strip. There's Eddie Purcell. The back rowers are starting to come into play. Watini, Purcell and Gibb. They go to the right-hand side this time. Matty Smith back on the inside to Watini. Cut down in a good low tackle. Another big fellow in Leahy. Very deep here now. Smith up to Perry. This is where they're going to try before with the 2 halves standing close together. Perry lost his options there. 4 tackles, so Perry's out of play late in the tackle count. Smith comes from right to left. Little grubber kick through. Beautifully done by Bird. Oh, he's had a good game, Shy Bird. That is sensational. At full stretch, caught it on his fingertips. Had he not done that, there was trouble written all over this. Have a look at this. Full stretch. You can do a hammy doing that, and he stayed in the field of play.
You
He's
can,
had
also
a
be
great game.
bowled, you can also be bowled over and lose the ball, all sorts of things when you're off balance. Okay, Manahira. Now Reith Muller.
Well, they didn't take the 2. They decided to back themselves, and they still trail by 8.
And Northern Pride have got to, and this is a good run too by Clint Amos, but Northern Pride have got to put a couple of good sets together. If they can get a good kick in here, coming from Shepherd. Ogden, who hasn't had many opportunities for Norths today. It's a defensive wall there.
Normally scores a try a game, Daniel Ogden. He's keen to get his hands on the footy. Oh, good. Again, so important the first few sets in a set of 6.
Norths have had 7 from their 10. Northern Pride have only used 5 interchanges so far.
Probably indicative of the work that Norths have had to do. Eddie Purcell. Again, the Pride not giving them any easy territory. Perry to the line. Comes back on the inside, keeps it alive up there to Hanson. Troy Hanson. Last tackle, so not a very good forward set of 6 there. Smith, they'll try the high ball and hope for an error. Kane Manahira, rock solid, but brought to ground.
There's been some tremendous high kicks today. The bombs have really been pinpoint high, coming down where you want them, but the defenders have been great under them.
And Shy Bird showing terrific work. This was Manahira, of course, with the high ball take, and now Michael Barney.
No pressure on him in the end. There was no defenders or chasers coming through at all.
Taken forward here by Alex Starmer. Just short of the halfway. The Northern Pride putting together another reasonable set of 6. As a matter of fact, they take it into North's territory, and that's the 5th tackle play now, and they're on the offensive. Shepherd's going to keep the run and now follow it through. Interesting battle for this ball, but good work by Matty Smith. Oh!
Tackle without the ball.
Yeah,
I think they got
penalty
it
going to Norths. Relieving penalty for the Devils.
Near thing here. Matty Smith was trying to dive on it there, being hampered and grabbed by Shepherd. Correct decision. But gee, asked some good questions with those short kicks, Shepherd.
Yeah, he nearly turned the tide, didn't he? Norths have been fighting hard and really taking it to the Pride, but all of a sudden a quick rush, quick play the ball. Shepherd's there to pounce. But now Norths have got it once more.
Yep. Penalty counts, interesting. 8-2 in favour of Norths if they're able to get home and win it. There might be some questions asked about that. Going back inside, Troy Hanson, upended. So 12 short of the halfway. North's Devils still 8 points short and left behind by Javon White. So Northern Pride get another chance here. They'll start their set 40 metres out. Nick Slaney to play it.
This is the GF here and now. Can they defend it?
Is the tiredness starting to tell for Norths now? This is Mark Cantoni trying desperately to cling onto the ball. Tackle number 1, and they're only 25 metres out. Taken forward by Starmer. Happy to just hit the wall and get them to within 15 metres of the line. Roos, Reith Muller. Reith Muller showing strength to get to within 5 metres of the line. So here they come, the Pride. Shepherd gets the pass to the right man, and it's a try to Sliney. Nick Sliney's over. The Northern Pride can celebrate a try at a key time with 16 minutes left in the grand final. They go out to a 28-16 lead.
Well, you've seen 2 of the best ball distributors in the Queensland Cup. They both played NRL. Chris Shepherd, 65 games, will retire on this one. Just knows who to pick. He had multiple options. The good players sensed the right one, and Nick Sliney, again running a good angle, had players in motion. None the least Ben Lady is his inside runner. Just hit Sliney, and Shane Perry and Chris Shepherd have gone pass for pass. Shepherd's had more ball to work with, and Nick Sliney, beautiful work. Good young kid, Nick Sliney too, played a couple of NRL games, and the Pride pretty happy about that. 6th try this year.
We just saw a few of the Northern Pride supporters in the crowd. There are a lot of them here, plenty of former North Queenslanders, of course, living down in the southeast corner. So even though a lot of their supporters might not be able to travel, they've still turned up in their numbers. And great to see them. And now this conversion from close to the post. Shy Bird has a 100% record so far. This will give them a 14-point margin with 14 minutes to go. Between the uprights, it's now the Northern Pride 30, North 16.
What a beautiful pass from Shepherd. It was double trouble for the defence here. You look at Matt Smith in defence. He's not sure who to tackle. There's Lady coming. Sliney's coming. It's Sliney's ball, and Sliney's in. Beautifully delivered by Shepherd. What a perfect piece, precision play by the Northern Pride.
Nothing ad hoc about that either. He was standing so wide, Shepherd, from the play the ball. It was all about stretching and opening up the defence. They did it to perfection after a couple of runs to midfield.
21-year-old Nick Sliney's got a big future, Jerry.
Oh, well and truly. And you'd think from here that Northern Pride just have to do everything right. Just not make mistakes. And this is one way of doing it. Michael Barney just pinching metres early. Bruce from dummy half. Strong run this time by Underwood. They're into North's territory. Away to the left now. Carted forward by Clint Amos. Is done well in that replacement role. Little kick over the top. Shepherd trying it again. And this time the ball taken by North.
Smith again, I think.
Reed's hurt.
And I think there as well, the previous kick down there by Shepherd that ended up in a penalty going the other way. This time just happy to just make the tackle and put the pressure on North to run the ball back. So this is Eddie Purcell just short of the halfway.
Again, 13 minutes. There's still plenty of time for the Devils if they get a purple patch going. Martini cut to the ground with a good low tackle. Anderson it was. Matty Smith. That's a waste. That's a waste. Little halfback shouldn't get caught there by three in midfield like that. Last tackle now. Well, attacking kick with result. That's what they want. That's gone too deep, I think. Barney. No. Shy Bird, what a good game he's had at the back, Shy Bird. He's had an outstanding match. Goal kicking has been perfect. And Barney runs out of dummy half, flicks it back on the inside to Jensen. Mazembe gets on him.
Right, Cowboy.
Jensen gave him a bit of a godfall too.
Speaking of Ryden Cowboy, of course the Northern Pride players are from all parts of northern Queensland, and including a few from Mareeba, including Chris Shepherd, their skipper. And the word is that they talk about radios when they get together. They don't talk about cattle prices or ball knocked down there and then knocked on. So the original,
hang on.
This is interesting. The original knock-on is going against North Devils.
He's calling
against Northern Pride.
Advantage.
Calling the arm was knocked. So it was either knocked the arm or the action of making the tackle, which these days NRL seem to call the other way.
Just relax.
Didn't impress the Pride, who've played against a flood of penalties and still in front.
Mark Learfer, he's anxious.
Every reason to be TJ Aston there beside him. So Aston here is a unique guy. He went and played with the Northern Pride. He actually started with North, went to the Pride and came back again. Was North last year, Pride early this year. So he had a foot in both camps. You'd be wondering about which horse he's jumped on though at the moment. Samoa's been elusive. You wouldn't see that very often where a guy has played with both grand final clubs in the 1 year. But at the moment the Devils trail Eddie Purcell. They're going to want some attacking spark and brilliance, which they're capable of. Little play down the middle to Hansen. Got to get a bit of second. He's lost that. Stripped. Another penalty. This is avalanche-like the penalties. Jack Reed has had a good game when he's dropped into the back row. Talented player. Plays tough and strong. Can the Devils just get another one? Another one up there to Brendan Gibb. They're not going to give him a passage now. Cantoni over the top and Clint Amos underneath. Run down a blind side. Up there to Samoa. He's been able to dance around, but good tackle over the top by Cantoni. Shut down any thought of an offload. Perry toying. Puts it out the back to Smith. Out there to Watini. To Davui. Davui can't offload. Good tackle, Anderson. He's defended well on that left centre position to Smith. Have they got any more ideas left, the Devils? Last tackle play. Last tackle play. Must get a result here. Must get a result. Perry, short ball up to Purcell. He'll know it's got a kid life to give. Well, this will be a miracle if they get a try out of this. Samoa knocked it back, picked up by Ogden, and guess who's back there? Gone into touch. Went into touch with Mazembe's acrobatics.
Well, that was brilliant stuff actually by Mazembe. It's surprising in the end that he must have been a part of his boot as he took the ball or something. He looked to be in the air. He's in the air.
His foot was back on the ground. A microsecond in it. Anyway, Shy Bird had defused the grubber by Ogden anyway.
I'll tell you what, if it had led to a try, it would have been one of the more spectacular ones, but it's given that bit of a breath of relief now for the Northern Pride. We're less than 10 minutes left in the grand final, and that 14-point margin is decisive. No doubt about it whatsoever. So if Northern Pride just hold on to the ball, make their tackles, they'll have the Queensland Cup. Brett Anderson on his own 30. Here comes Manahira in to be a dummy half. Push off one, another. Perry's man clinging onto him with Samoa. Another strong run by Kane Manahira. Rod Jensen, it was great to see him score a try last week, and he's tackled on the 5th. Shepherd now. Quite happy to kick behind the defence and let it roll into the corner. So Javon White, look at that defensive line that's there, including the kicker and the skipper, Chris Shepherd.
Ultimate kick from there, the little pocket play. Put it in the 10-by-10, and it's hard to get out of there.
Especially when you're leading by 14 in a grand final with 9 to go.
Turn the screws. They're going to try and get out by throwing it straight away. Out to the flyer and Ogden. 1-on-1. Comes back on the inside. Just can't slip through. Lost it. And with that, maybe the grand final goes through their fingers. Was that stripped?
Yes.
Another penalty. Well, have you ever seen a penalty? I'm not saying they've been hard done by here. Gee, he didn't have much a hold on that. How can that be a strip? He was barely... he
had his arms around the body, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, certainly Northern Pride, if they win this, it'll be despite the penalty count, that's for sure. The spinner about to come back on. Perry now, looking to weave some magic. Purcell can't offload.
Good wrap-up.
We're down to 7.5 minutes to go in the grand final. Perry again. Barney does well. And loses it. So it's still alive. They can score here. Samoa for the corner is in.
Unbelievable.
Is it still alive? North score.
We're going to go back.
Vital try.
We'll go to the video. Was this one stripped? Barney was the one who took the chip kick from Perry. And then the tackle was put on him. Did it get dislodged or was it stripped? After we've just seen a near-miss strip. Here's Perry, the little chip over the top. Barney covers it comfortably. Perry first there. He lost it clean. I don't think Perry knocked it on. And Samoa just enough pace to get away from the despairing grab.
Just watch it again, though. Perry's hand. Oh, no. Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's a strip.
But that's 1-on-1. That's all right, Jerry. Let's play on.
Okay, yeah,
so long as he hasn't knocked it on, and I don't think he has.
Surely wouldn't be judged to have attacked him in the air, catching the ball, would he?
I wouldn't think so. It's a try. As long as he hasn't knocked it on, as long as Perry hasn't knocked this forward.
Is he tackling him in the air?
Technically.
You can cuddle a bloke in the air, surely.
Surely, common sense says no, but technically, yes.
Oh, come on, this has got to be a try.
Thank you.
It is. And North stay alive. And Troyden Watini has the conversion lined up already as soon as the referee rules time on.
No, well, we're going to have the captain going to have a bit of a chat.
Let's have a listen.
Calls in a row. They haven't had one call against them in this whole half, and we've had how many? Okay. Mate, are we that bad?
Thanks, Chris. I'll take it on board, mate, and I'll work with you on that.
It's an absolute stitch-up, mate.
Thank you. Take it back there.
Not impressed is Shepherd. The numbers are in his favour. I don't know whether the reality of the calls
Tyres back on.
have been most have been pretty clear cut. Important kick. Curling, missed.
Left.
Still got to score twice.
Yeah, 26 minutes to go. It does look too far for the Devils to come back, but they're fighting on. Perry puts the kick over. Barney had it. He lost it. Perry knocked it out, quickly scooped away, and Samoa's played well, hasn't he? Injected into the team from the bench and played very well in that position at left centre. But they have, look, I think there's been a couple of calls that you would dispute and that the Pride would say have been pretty tough. For example, I thought that when Shepherd was ruled of knock-on just a little while ago, I thought it was a knockdown by Smith making the tackle. There was a penalty earlier, particularly against Cantoni and Roos holding down too long. Might have been a little bit unlucky. But you can also see where many of the decisions have been made by the rules.
And I think Shepherd within his rights anyway to question it and to perhaps put a little bit of pressure on the referee.
Sure.
And so North now looking to come back.
Silly Underwood.
Dear, oh dear.
Something's aggravated him, but that's not on.
And Eddie Purcell's not doing anyone any favours, throwing punches.
No, that could change things around. But
his team's in possession.
I mean, Underwood blew up there, so something has happened other than just frustration. There's a bit more going on. And let's hope that people are trying to quell this.
Let it go.
Purcell's still in there. Headbutt, I heard, was a comment made.
You just move away.
Now there's pressure on the official now. Jerry, let's see if Chris Shepherd's challenge on him has in any way made him think about the hard done by or apparent hard done by.
Please, gentlemen.
Let's have a look. Is there any suggestion? Well, there's a little bit of a... Whoa.
Well, there you go. Purcell's throwing the first punch.
In possession.
Yeah, that is dumb. With a capital D.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's after the first melee.
Yeah. All right.
Now,
so
if this goes against North Queensland,
number 7.
Shepherd will have something to complain about.
13 North.
On number 7.
Okay.
And why would you do it?
Right.
You've got 10 points to win a grand final in whatever it is, 7 minutes.
Well, was there a reason that Purcell did it? But if so, it's not evident on the video.
But even with the ball, Warren, you just don't.
Well, he's crazy. He's crazy, Dave.
You just cop it.
Mate, just stand up and play the ball.
Oh,
right?
don't tell me.
There's nothing.
I could have played when I was tackling him.
There was nothing to do. I mean, sorry, stand up and just be marker. Sorry, right? Just if you want to keep all your men on the field, cut that out. Right, the penalty is going to go against you because you threw the first punch.
I don't believe that.
That is all we want. That is all we want.
He can't throw headbutts. That's well outside
Move out
the
the
rules.
way.
He's got to go.
Move out the way. What's the North number?
Number 13.
13.
Well,
that's extraordinary.
Baffles me.
Well, they're talking about a headbutt. Maybe it's something that we didn't see, is it?
But he's got penalised when
I don't need you to react.
Stood up.
We'll throw the penalty your way, but we don't need you to react. If you want to keep all your men on the field for the last bit of the game, calm down. Thanks, gentlemen. Take them to the mark.
Well, I don't know where the alleged headbutt was by Underwood.
Well, for my Northern Pride, they're fighting too many battles here.
He got penalised for throwing a punch while they were standing up, so that's what the penalty was for, and I thought it would have gone the other way. Anyway, the game stays alive. Unbelievably so. Gibb up to halfway. Settler down that blind side. Plenty of effort and delay going in. I reckon the Pride would think they'll get a little bit of that latitude in these. Cleaver punishing. Nice work, Cleaver. Up to Perry. Good line of defence, though. Perry's trying to get on the outside. Couldn't do so.
Good work,
defence.
Slidey. Fantastic tackle.
Tackle that had to be made. Had Perry been able to get outside, he knew there was a chance. Martini breaks one, gets the hands free. And swarming defence by the Pride.
He can be a danger man, and they set him on his back, and that just slows it all down.
Matty Smith back on the inside to Cleaver again. Cleaver does well to keep it alive. Through the hands, knocked backwards.
Knocked on. Well, I'm sure that the Pride breathed a bit of a sigh of relief there because that did appear to be knocked backwards, but they need something to go their way from the referee.
Well, that's the second time it's been ruled knock-on when North have dropped it back. I mean, referees have been doing this lately at NRL and Cup level where they are saying, and it's knocked on when the ball goes back from the hand. If the rule doesn't say if you drop the ball, it's a knock-on.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a knock-on, as in forward.
That's right.
Come on, North, let's go.
Tough
Bring your
call,
backs, Ray.
but the Pride will take it. They
Might
haven't
have
had
evened
too
up.
many.
Might have evened up.
Hold it there. What time's they can't put the
I
ball
don't
in?
think the Pride will think it's evened up, but anyway.
Well, the thing is that they've got a 10-point margin and we've now got less than 5 minutes to go, and Norths have to score twice, and if they're not careful, Brett Anderson might weave his way through them. So they're into Norths Devils territory now, the Pride. Taken forward by Spina. Oh, well met. Great tackle there from Elamani. Did well to hold on to the ball there. Taken forward now by Noel Underwood. Scored the first try. That seems a long time ago, doesn't it? On the sideline, David Maiden.
Dry mouth.
Yeah, he'd be feeling it well and truly. Just imagine the ups and downs he's been through in the last half hour. As the Northern Pride have had to battle all sorts of adversity to keep their lead, but they're holding on to it, and the clock is ticking away. And not only that, they're down, ready for a chance for more points. Pass has gone behind everybody, but taken well by Rod Jensen. Can he offload it? Yes. Kicked ahead. No,
Lost
knocked
it.
on.
Sorry, come from behind. Knock over, change over.
He was trying to offload Jensen, so desperate defence prevented him from doing so. The Devils, well, they need 2 length of the field jobs.
Very quickly.
Yeah, back to back, basically.
Where's Daniel Ogden? The flyer on the wing.
Yeah, on the far right-hand side, so the top of our picture. This is Mark Liafa's back into the action. We saw him sitting on the sideline there before. So the skipper back on to try and create a miracle if he can. Elamani's played well. Caught 25 out. This is White. 15 short of the halfway Norths. Less than 3 minutes to go in the grand final. Perry, the man who's been able to manufacture a lot, but he can only manufacture a knock on there as he tried to get the late pass to Jack Reed.
Yeah, put himself into the line and just didn't, the arms were being held back as he tried to shovel the pass back on the inside. He did have his arms free, but just wasn't able to hook it around. So that was the last throw of the dice for the Devils.
Yes, just a bit more than 2 minutes, and the referee calls time off.
Men down. Not surprised somebody's got a bit of cramp out there. Jack Reed.
Yeah, it looks like Reed.
Yeah, started in the centres and has finished in the pack today. Not for the first time this year.
Let's form
Had
it
a
up.
fine year.
Let's keep this train rolling.
Northern Pride. Wowee. They'd won 11 games straight coming into this
Stay home, get your seconds and locks
match. How has it ever been done before to win 12 straight?
And to so often you'll see teams on a winning roll just stutter in the grand final. But they've come here to play, and their first half performance was fantastic.
And what about the Pride? In 2008, they lost the preliminary final in extra time. Last year, lost the grand final. This year, well, it looks certain they're going to win it now.
Yeah, they're going to make amends for what happened up at the Sunshine Coast last year, taken forward by Brett Anderson. And everybody in North Queensland have the champagne bottles ready to uncork, because it's about to happen. Only a couple of minutes away now. Ben Laity. They're inside the 20. Roos has been really good. Spina straightens up. Happy to get inside the 10 on the 5th. Shepherd on the left. The pass looking for the man in the gap. Backing around beautifully. Shepherd keeps it alive to Anderson. And he's flicked it alive too, but straight into the arms of Watini. And now Norths, through their skipper, Mark Liafa, is shut down 5 out from his own line as we get down to the final minute of the grand final.
Well, it is caution to the wind here now. Perry looks back on the inside. Not a bad idea if he can get some runners. Turns it back again. Up there to Matty Smith. Back on the inside again to Reed. Reed searches up the middle. Can't get through. Good defensive line there. Nicely spread by the Pride.
Well, they just corralled them, didn't they, the Pride? They had nowhere to go.
Keeping alive again. Back there to Reed. Reed almost through. Less than a minute to go.
18-0 was just too much for the Devils today.
Yeah, pass on the outside. Here's Ogden going to turn up on this left-hand side. Back there, Samoa. Samoa throws it to the wrong man. Well, it was a chancy pass that had to be thrown. Couldn't be done. But Sparrow thought, Jerry, for young Ryan Stigg, who missed the grand final today with that bad luck with the AC injury. Played a great season, young Stigg, and Amos has filled in beautifully in the number 6. But he can also look back and say he's played a great part in this grand final victory.
Absolutely, and his mum can be very proud of him, that's for sure. So we enter the final 10 seconds of the 2010 Grand Final. Northern Pride in possession. Shepherd, off it's gone there to Underwood. He takes the tackle, the hooter goes, and the Pride are the Queensland Cup champions of 2010. They're the Pride of North Queensland. They have turned up here ready to play. They were hot in the first half. Norths came back at them, and they have held off that comeback and come up with a spirited, most impressive 10-point win in the Queensland Cup.
Fine effort by the Northern Pride. 12 games straight to win a grand final. They started the season, I think, about 5 from 11. They got beat 64-0 about 14 weeks ago by the Sunshine Coast. They pulled themselves together. The coach has got to take credit as well, David Maiden. In his debut season as the coach of the Northern Pride, he has pulled them together after a shaky start, to say the least, to come on and win the grand final. Admittedly, they had almost a full backline of NRL players. Shy Bird's the only player in the backline that hadn't played for the NRL. But then the North Devils, they've had a good year too. They started so well, Jerry. 8 games straight they won, if you remember. And then they, kept winning, finished in second spot, did well to beat the top side, South, in the first semi. But then they come up against their match today in a penalty count that was well and truly in their favour. The Devils couldn't capitalise. They made a strong effort in the second half. They scored 4 tries all up, the Devils, 1 in the first and 3 in the second. So they've hit back strongly, but as Warren said, they couldn't catch the 18-point deficit. They surrendered early. There's young Ryan Stig, the guy there with the sunnies on the head there, with his back to us there. He had a fine season.
Well, he had a fantastic first half last week, didn't he, in that game against South Logan. And it was such a pity when he was injured and wasn't able to take his place in the second half. And then, of course, to miss a grand final would be pretty horrible, but he knows that he's been very much a part of it. And for Norths, when they were down 18-0, let's go down to Warren Boland. He's got David Maiden, the winning coach.
David, congratulations. What an outstanding effort by your boys.
Yeah, look, these guys turned themselves around. We had a tough start to the year, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to be involved with these guys for my first year of coach. I've been very lucky. I've learned more of them than I've ever taught them this year, so I'm very proud to be associated with them.
You played an almost perfect 37 minutes of the first half. It couldn't have started better.
Yeah, look, they went really well. They were tough. They got into them. We played up tempo, and they played a style of footy that was probably started this club by Andrew Duneman. So Andrew Duneman, Dennis Keefe started Northern Pride off, and these guys, I'm the beneficiary of that, and these guys are too.
Now, what would you like to say to everyone back in Cairns watching?
Look, I hope you enjoy this, because I know these boys are, and we're going to really look forward to it. We're going to go back to Pride Leagues Club tonight, and let's celebrate.
And look, you had a lot of stars out there, but Chris Shepherd as good as anyone.
Look, he's been outstanding for us. He said it in his the highlight of his career was winning the Q Cup, and he said that 2 months ago, so in 2010. So he's a competitor. He's been fantastic for us, and those boots are going to be very, very hard to fill.
Well done. I'll let you get over to the boys.
Thanks, guys.
Down here with Brendan Gibb. Brendan, obviously not the result you want. You gave away a bit of a start, but you came back strongly and showed that true Devil spirit.
Yeah, mate, we tried hard all game, but it's too much a head start that first half. Just couldn't reel them back in. They're top side, and yeah, they showed up ready to go today, and just blew us off the park at the start. Top side, mate, but couldn't come away with the result this time. So always next year.
Was there anything you could put that down to, Brendan? Did you lack the intensity to start? It looked like you were in the game, or just a couple of things?
I don't know, it's just finals footy, eh? Go either way, you get that roll on. A couple of silly errors in the start just turned the game for us, and yeah, it's just all over now, so back, that's it.
As I said, mate, you did come back strongly, so you scored that try late in the first half. That must have given you some confidence going into the second half?
Yeah, maybe if we didn't have the half-time break, the first half